Welcome to the show. This is Protect Your Children Now with your host, Christopher Gelson, the director and lead teacher of Protect Your Children Incorporated. ProtectYourChildren.org. ProtectYourChildren.org is the website. ProtectFromPredators.org is also a great website. It goes to the same place, but ProtectFromPredators.org, ProtectYourChildren.org. Glad that you are here tonight. As you can see from the background, man, I don't know what is happening, but I mean, we used to hear like, one or two stories about a teacher abusing a student. Man, I was looking yesterday and today, and it was like unbelievable. It's happening so much now, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And we got to talk about that tonight. Listen, this has to stop, and part of it is parents keeping an eye on their kids, monitoring their kids' phones, their conversations. Part of it, I think, is the school districts. They got to maybe do like psychosexual evaluations or something on these people that want to be teachers, because it's getting out of control. Out of control. Absolutely. Welcome to the show, Marie T. Marie T is here. Tracy is here. Glad to see you guys both here in the chat. You guys can post in the chat. If you're on YouTube, chances are probably see your comment. If you're on Facebook, I probably won't. But you should still comment. Yes, still comment, because other people can see what you say. And then, of course, we'll read your comments after the show. So definitely please comment. So tonight we're going to talk about this ridiculous amount of teachers that are attacking these kids. We're also going to get into this new survey that Gallup did that basically like 54% of America now believes that it's okay for teens to have sex with teens. And that's up from like 36%. So there's a huge spike there, which we've been warning about, right? We've been warning about that because of the sexualization of the culture and everything else. The adults and the kids now think it's all right to have sex. So, even when they're not ready. So what's going on here, right? And also there's a report out that the majority now, for the first time, the majority of, ready for this? Illegal sexual acts are now perpetrated by minors. Yeah, under 18. So this is all tying together for a recipe that's leaving our kids vulnerable and leaving our kids to be abused by these predators who are everywhere. So that's what we're going to get into tonight. Plus a hero segment, your comments. In case you missed it, will be coming up. A bunch of great stuff posted in the group. I'll tell you, last week, YouTube censored about a minute and a half of the show. Not exactly sure exactly where or why or what, but I'm going to guess that it was probably something to do with a Democratic senator. That's all I could say. We were talking about a certain Democratic senator, Katie Porter, and some stuff that she was trying to see. Now I can't even say it, right? Because we know how it is now. And it's interesting because Rumble didn't censor anything, Twitter didn't censor nothing, Facebook didn't censor anything, but YouTube, oh yeah, they suspended the stream for a minute and a half while we talked about the alphabet. Okay, let's just leave it at that. We talked about the alphabet. They censored that. Imagine that. So have to be very careful as we tread lightly on what we can say and what we can't in this day and age, because even when you're trying to protect children, even when you take a balanced stance like we do, it's still not okay. You got to be careful with what you say. And it's funny because I didn't even know that it censored it until people popped up in the comments and said, hey, you're back. I'm like, where did I go? Didn't realize we went anywhere. And found out later on, yeah, a minute and a half was censored from YouTube. So hopefully it doesn't happen again, because they're probably watching now and they're listening. And it's crazy how they can monitor live streams. Like, do they really have their algorithm like listening to every word you say in a live stream, so that if something comes up, they can automatically cut the stream? Wow, times have changed. Times have changed. Indeed, they have. My gosh, I'll tell you what. So I will tell you that next Wednesday, huge program next Wednesday. You don't want to miss it. You want to share it. You want to tell people to to be here. Next Wednesday, the child that we've been working with, that we've been talking about for a few weeks, a month, 2 months now, the child who was seeking out predators, has agreed to be on the show live. Now, the child's face will be hidden. The name will be changed for understandable reasons. But he said that he wanted to come on the show live. He wants us to take calls. So we're going to launch that next week. We're going to take calls from people if they want to call in. We're going to promote the show for a whole week in advance. But he wants to come on so that parents and kids can understand what happened to him, how he got into it, and how kids can be safe from it. So that's going to be a huge show scheduled for next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Let people know. It's going to be a powerful show, emotional show, but it's something that parents really need to hear about. Because, again, nobody's thinking that kids are out there looking to communicate and trade with predators. Okay? Everybody thinks it's the other way around, that it's the predators going after the kids. And that is happening. Don't get me wrong. But unfortunately, there is a segment of the kids now that will go out there looking for people to abuse them. As crazy as that sounds, it does happen. And we have to shine some light on that. And we're so thankful that he's brave enough to want to come on the show live to talk about that. So don't miss next Wednesday's show, God willing. No internet outages, no sicknesses, all that good stuff. So Tracy said it might be AI. Yeah, it's most likely AI. Yeah, the YouTube algorithm. Remember, YouTube was real. Oh man, during the can I even say COVID now? I guess during that period, the sickness period, man, YouTube was just bad. Man, they were catching every little thing that people were saying. So I guess even when it comes to protecting children, you can't talk about the alphabet because you'll get censored. So anyway. But yes, next Wednesday, the child will be on the show live. So we're excited about that. We're glad. We hope it's going to open a lot of eyes and help parents to realize that the relationships that are lacking in their child's life, they're going to go find. They're going to go find it. And if they find it, they're going to find danger. And parents are going to lose their kids, as this kid was almost lost. I mean, we're talking about close. So, yeah. So that's next week. So, all right. Let's jump into the in case you missed it. In case you missed it. Yes. Let's see, huh? Let's see. In case you missed it. Yes. In case you missed it. All right. This is the group page right here. Check this out. Man, we had to post so many. It was just unbelievable. So this is Protect All Children from Predators and Kidnapping on Facebook. We are adding some numbers, which is great. We've added probably 15 new members in the last week. So we're happy to see that. Let's keep sharing the group. You can go to the group and go and click invite or share the group, and tons of people will find out about it. And hopefully more people will join. So please do that. We're trying to get more people into this group so more parents can be aware and more kids can be protected. So please check this out. Protect All Children from Predators and Kidnapping. So this right here, this was another one. I kept posting today. I'm like, here's another teacher. Here's another one. And another one. And another one. I mean, the news, it was breaking like left and right with all these teachers. It's just unbelievable. This was a special ed teacher accused of trying to meet up with a teen boy for sex. This is a married special ed teacher with a child, but yet somehow is being drawn to her teenage student. We've got mental illness here, people. Look at this. We got an old one here. Yet another one. 75-year-old teacher learns fate after facing 600 years in prison for student sexual assault. 75 years old? Okay. 75 years old. Unbelievable. But yep, that's that one right there. And Darla Walton, she's awesome. She's always commenting. What is wrong with people? Good. Keep her where she belongs. Absolutely. Hey, look at this. A live show. Posting right there for that. Oh, look at that. Yeah, over 4 in 10. We're going to talk about this in a little bit. 4 in 10 in the U.S. now say teen sex is morally acceptable. Are we starting to see the pattern here? Unbelievable. And another one. Look at this freak. Student teacher at Sherwood High School arrested for child sexual abuse. Police seek more victims. They say there has to be more victims with this guy. All right. That's just another one. And then here's another one. Douglas County teacher arrested for possible child molestation. This is in Atlanta. Right? I mean, how many? Look at it. It's just unbelievable. And yet here's another one. University City High School teacher arrested on sex charges to remain in jail. This is out in San Diego. Yeah, it's almost like, well, the schools are the hunting grounds. And the predators are applying, they're becoming teachers, and they're getting access to these children. And why is no one seeing any warning signs? Why? What is happening? Why are so many teachers now abusing their students? It's really unbelievable. Unbelievable. Alish posted this. So yeah, for Halloween, watch your kids' candy this year. The new thing is rainbow fentanyl. Looks like sweet tarts. Yeah. You gotta love the drug dealers, right? Anything to get the kids hooked. Unbelievable. But thank you, Alish, for posting that. That's our event that we have for going tonight. And then we even put something here. Look at this. Democrat or Republican. Okay? We don't take sides here. If you attempt to abuse kids, you get called out. That's the way we are. Okay? It's the same with the alphabet community. I don't care if you're straight or you're alphabet. If you're white, black, it don't matter. If you're trying to harm kids, we're going to call you out. That's just the way it goes. But ex-North Dakota lawmaker charged with flying to Prague with intent to rape a minor. Imagine that. And Tracy said 7 years to get arrested. Glad to see them taking this seriously for a change. Elish posted this again, how to tell if your drink has been spiked on a night out and what to do. It's a great article. Check it out on the group page. And right here, and we ask why, just why. This has to be a demonic mental illness. Social worker accused of having sex with, we'll say, a young person, so the algorithm doesn't censor us, okay? Intimidating the family with a gun. Are we seeing that they're attacking us yet? This is the same lady here. Shows up at the 13-year-old's house. Ohio social worker. Wow. Alish reposted this from Caitlin. My child is allowed to deny physical touch from anyone. I don't care if you think it's rude. If they don't want to be touched, don't touch them. Period. Amen. Then we shared this gem. We even put on here, this is brutal, but it has to be shared. We don't take a stand on Democrat or Republican, but we talk about the facts. Josh Hawley mercilessly confronts Biden official over migrant children. You got to check that out on YouTube. Click that link after the show. It's powerful. And this curve over here, 5 years for hundreds of thousands of images. That's all he gets. This guy had 250,000 images, 10,000 rounds of ammunition, and he gets 5 years in prison. That's 250,000 images. 5 years. Yeah, it should be good enough, right? And Alish posting, it's fall. It's starting to get darker earlier. Make sure you fill up your gas tank before sunset. All the stuff to be safe. Keep an extra charger with you. Usual stuff. Unbelievable. And then the podcast of last week's show. Wow. It is absolutely out of control. Yeah. Yeah. Tracy says predators are predators and need to be kept away from kids permanently. Absolutely. And it seems like what we're having is a problem identifying them, right? This seems to be the issue. Well, we're going to show a little thing here in a minute a clip about a teacher who got arrested. And you're going to find out that the school system, it seemed like, tried to run some interference. And that could be part of a situation, too, where the schools are not reporting it. They're trying to, like, tuck it under the rug like the priests did for, like, I don't know, 200 years with the Catholic Church, right? So it seems like maybe there's some of that going on, too, where it's like, let's just look the other way, pretend like this didn't happen, and just move the person, you know, or maybe work out some agreement with the family or something. But something's going on here, and we need to get to the bottom of it. Yeah. Tracy said, I couldn't believe that 5 years. 5 years is nothing. 5 years. For all that. 5 years. Unbelievable. So that was in case you missed it. Man, I'll tell you something. All right, let's jump into our hero segment really quick. Our hero kid. Another couple of great hero kids. I'll tell you, they're brave. They're courageous. And we love them. They're being raised right. They're thinking about others over themselves. And we think it's awesome. So let's get into this hero kid segment right now.
Two heroes pulled two kids from a burning home in Orange County today.
Yeah, and the heroes, they're kids themselves. Valerie Boy spoke with them and their proud parents, joining us live tonight with more on their story. Great stuff, Valerie.
Oh, it certainly is, Sunny. You know, as soon as we arrived on scene, both of the kids were so excited to tell us what happened. Even the firefighters are calling the boys heroes. Isaiah and Jeremiah say they were playing video games when they suddenly smelled smoke. That's when they looked out the window and noticed the house next door on fire. It's located off of West Colonial in Oakland.
So we ran over there as fast as we could, and the dad was outside trying to find water. We asked him if there was any kids in there. He said yes. We said where? He said in the kitchen.
10-year-old Isaiah and 11-year-old Jeremiah did what they had to do.
I grabbed the infant, and Isaiah grabbed the 1.5-year-old.
Isaiah, did you see any fire?
Yeah, it was really close to the babies. It's like, because it started by the couch.
Jeremiah called 911. When firefighters arrived, they rescued two other kids from the burning home.
Mostly just dark. All you could really see was black and orange flames everywhere. And I was kind of scared of doing that. So I was scared whenever I went in there, but I got through my fear and I did it.
And after the boys pulled the children out of the burning house, they came over here to Isaiah's house where they placed him on the couch and gave them some water.
We made sure they were okay, nothing wrong with them.
Jeremiah's mother says she went out to pick up groceries but left her spare cell phone with her son.
Me and his father was talking. We're going to actually give him a surprise tomorrow. We don't know exactly what we're going to do for him yet, but we told him it was going to be a big surprise for him being a hero.
Meanwhile, the parents of the children who were rescued are grateful to the two little heroes who live nearby.
They said, thank you so much. We're so proud of you for saving our children.
And firefighters say the two other kids from inside the house are recovering at the hospital. Meanwhile, the cause of the fire is still under investigation, and we're also trying to find out if the man who lives in that house will be charged with anything. Live in Orange County, Valerie Boy, Fox 35 News.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. How cool is that? These kids, man, I'll tell you what, they can be brave, they can be courageous, risking their own lives to go in there and save the kids. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Absolutely incredible. Jeez. What do we got? Heidi, I had a hard time. Oh, look at that. Heidi says, I had a hard time finding this. I found you on Rumble, but I'm not familiar with Rumble. These mentally ill individuals are everywhere. Yes, they are. Heidi, it's great to see you. And let me tell you, so, yeah, we're live streaming on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, our Facebook group, and Rumble all at the same time. All the links are on our website, right on the homepage. Just click the link for Rumble, and when you get there, the live stream will be showing. So it should be pretty simple. Not sure why it's given issues to people there. So, but anyway, glad that you found it here. And if you follow us on Facebook, we've been posting all day with the link. You know, all you have to do is go right to our Facebook page or our Facebook group, and you'll see the live show. But if there's something going on with that, please let us know. Let us know what's going on here. There are a few people that are keeping an eye on things on the YouTube chat. So I appreciate you guys being out there, even if your comment's not showing up on the screen. Appreciate you being here. So, but yeah, listen to that. These kids, man, I'll tell you what, and you know, it's such a strange situation because you got kids that are learning to be unselfish. They're learning to be, you know, focused on other people, not worrying about their own danger. Even those two kids said, yeah, we were scared. There was fire. It was dark, but we had to get over the fear and we had to go and do what was right. And that's just incredible, right? And then those same kids can end up being abused by some predator and their whole life can be turned upside down and they become somebody that's a former shell of who they are now. It's the other reason why we try to point out when kids are doing the right thing, because we want to protect that, right? As parents, you want to protect your kids. You want them to grow up. You want them to be successful. Sure, they're going to have hard times, but you teach them that they're going to have tough times, how they can get through it. You stand with them, and they can be successful and live the purpose that they're put on this earth to do. But something like drugs or alcohol and sexual abuse can derail that purpose and derail that plan and knock them so far off of what they were hoping to be that sometimes you can't get them back. That's how important protecting your children is. Yeah, that's a great question, Marie. Marie said, why did the dad go outside without taking the kids? And, you know, and it's funny because the news lady said, and, you know, they're trying to find out if the dad's going to be charged with something, right? Because, yeah, the dad goes outside without the kids. Now, maybe he was coughing from smoke. I don't know. But that is very strange that these two young kids had to go in there and rescue two of the kids. And then when the fire department got there, there were two more kids inside. The dad was outside. So, I don't know. There's something that has to be looked into on that. There's no doubt. All right. Let's check out this quick video about this teacher that was arrested. This is all building up to something here. And it's just, let me be honest with you. It's very frustrating. It's frustrating to try to be making a difference. And we know we're not the only one, which is great. There are a lot of organizations out there, a lot of people that are doing a lot to raise awareness and educate people. And everybody's working together to try to protect our kids. But sometimes it feels like it's not enough, right? You know, the difference between our show and our YouTube channel, you know, we're not trying to get views and get subscribers, excuse me, to make money, right? Which a lot of YouTubers are out there. They're trying to make a living off it. Nothing wrong with that. That's great. They put up good content. We're trying to get the word out to protect our kids. That's why we want to grow, because we know that the larger we grow, the more we grow, the more kids will be protected, more parents are aware. That's our goal, right? And it's very difficult. Over on Rumble, we're averaging about somewhere between 50 and 70 views. On YouTube, we're lucky if we get 5, right? Twitter is generally under 10. So we're not reaching a whole lot of people, even though we're doing a live show, we're posting content every day. And, you know, part of that is because it's being censored, it's being suppressed. And part of it's because people don't realize that there's an epidemic of child sexual abuse going on. They just don't realize it. And we're trying to do our part to help people realize it more and more. So let's check this teacher out here that got arrested. This is unbelievable.
Tonight, a San Jose music teacher is in jail charged with sexually abusing as many as 10 girls in his class. KTVU crime reporter Henry Lee live tonight at the San Jose Police Department with the latest on the investigation. Henry?
Yeah, Mike, San Jose police tell me that this is a case that came to their attention only after a delay that was caused by the school district. Adelante One Dual Language Academy, a TK through 8 school in San Jose that bills itself as a safe place. But San Jose police arrested music teacher Israel Santiago, saying the 43-year-old Morgan Hill man preyed on girls in the band room and touched as many as 10 inappropriately.
He's facing multiple counts of sexual assault, multiple counts of annoying or molesting a child.
Santiago has been at the school since 2013 and teaches music to 4th through 8th graders. Court records show that it was the principal at Adelante who first interviewed the alleged victims. According to police, some girls said Santiago would hug them as he sat in his chair. They said he'd leaned back, lifting them off their feet so they would end up on top of him. Some girls said they were touched on their backs or behind. Sergeant Christian Camarillo says that instead of first notifying the police department, Alum Rock Union School District officials initially contacted social services, which only investigates incidents that occur in homes.
By doing that, sometimes there is a delay when we get notified. This delay can lead to more children being victimized. It could lead to the destruction of evidence.
School's not in session this week because of the Thanksgiving holiday. The principal did not respond to a request for comment. I asked Alum Rock School District Superintendent Ilaria Bauer about any delay, and she told me the district did notify police. In an email, she said, quote, they wouldn't have known otherwise. Police say other victims may still be out there.
We do believe there could be additional victims based on this suspect's position as a person of trust, as a music teacher.
Andres Quintero is president of the Alum Rock School Board and an Adelante 1 parent whose children have been taught by Santiago.
I've demanded an in-depth investigation by the administration into everything that's taking place.
Now, the DA has formally filed charges against this teacher who is now on paid administrative leave. He's being held at Santa Clara County Jail. Bail set at $250,000. Live in San Jose, Henry Lee, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Hey, Henry, did police say if the alleged cases took place over a number of years, or is this all just from this current academic year?
Yeah, a criminal complaint seems to suggest 2021 and 2022. Now, one last note, some of these girls said that they sent in a young boy to see if the teacher would give him a hug. That teacher gave that boy a fist bump.
All right, Henry Lee live tonight there outside the San Jose Police Department. Henry, thank you.
Yeah, of course. See, his interest wasn't boys, it was girls, right? But you see the trick there? Yeah, let me just give you a hug, which, okay, teachers, look, you know, let me pull the girl up on his lap, right? Scumbag, pervert, obviously, right? He's going to get a long time, and he should. But you see that part about how the school district kind of like, well, no, we did notify the police or else they wouldn't have known. No, they called social services first, right? And then social services comes out, they do their investigation, then they think if there's any credibility to it, then the police get called. And as that sergeant was saying, is the longer it takes for the police to get involved, the more of a chance that the guy can get away with it, right? And how long was he working at that school? There's got to be more victims. There has to be more victims, right? And the fact that nobody sees this and nobody knows about it sometimes for years, people aren't paying attention. They're just not paying attention. Oh, they're a teacher. They're a good person. We don't have to worry about them, period. How many parents talk to their kids when they come home and ask, hey, not only how was your day? Good. All right, cool. Going out to play. All right, see you later. That's the extent of it. You know, how about going through their phone, see if they're communicating with their teachers? Are they having private conversations? Right? Because in most of these cases, probably not with this one, because they're like, well, who knows? I mean, 9 years old, they probably got phones, but you know, parents, the warning signs are usually there if people are looking for them. But what happens is with teachers and other professions, the guard goes down because they figure they should automatically be trusted, right? Which you can't guarantee that somebody can be trusted. Oh, they did a background check on the person. So that means they're clear. There's nothing there. That doesn't mean a darn thing. Everybody wants to put so much weight on background checks. Well, guess what? 88% of predators have yet to be arrested. 88%. So your background check doesn't mean squat. Now, is it good to do them? Absolutely. We offer them on the website, $5. We'll do federal, state, local. You know, we'll run somebody's information for you because they might have something. So it's always good to check out, but that shouldn't be relied upon wholly to decide if somebody's a decent person. No, you got to look at warning signs. You've got to look at their behaviors. You got to look at their interaction with the children. Are they singling out certain kids? Are they being way too touchy? Is there communication going on outside of school? Right? Is a child hiding stuff from the parent? Are they getting stuff that you don't know where they got it from? Do you know absolutely for sure that they're going to their friend Johnny's house or Sarah's house when they say they're going to Johnny's house or Sarah's house? Do you know for 100% sure that's where they're going? How do you know they didn't leave there early and go to a teacher's house? right? These are all things that have to be monitored. And there has to be people in the school district that are trained to look for warning signs, to look for something that's, yeah, this doesn't seem right. Let me have a conversation with the teacher or the student. But the school districts don't seem to be doing a darn thing to try to identify these predators before they're attacking their children. So how safe are your kids at school? Yeah, Marie made the great point. That got me too. Go ahead and touch the kids. We'll give you a paid vacation. Yeah, right now he's on paid leave. Paid leave right now. And they'll say, well, because he hasn't been found guilty yet. So he's on paid vacation right now while they figure out if he's guilty or not. Right. So the kids all came up and said this person did this and did that, and they're all lying. They're all lying, I guess. Yeah, paid leave. Unbelievable. Tracy said it's why parents need to spend time with their kids, because you build trust and relationships. And even if they don't tell you verbally, you'll notice a little different. Yes, you'll notice the differences. Yep. Yeah, this is the other thing. Tracy, you did hear that right. They said the girl sent in a boy to see if he would get hugged too. That is kind of odd, right? But, you know, that's almost kind of smart, because the girls were like, is it really strange that he's hugging us? Or maybe he'll hug everybody, right? So let's send a boy in there and see if he'll hug the boy. And then when he didn't, then they realized, wait a minute, he's only hugging us. Sounds like they realized that there was something wrong with that, right? Now, of course, you know, if he hugged the boy too, he'd probably pull the boy up on his lap too, the way these people are. Right. But it seems like that's what they were trying to figure out, if something wasn't, you know, if something was wrong, and turned out that there was. Absolutely. Man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. ProtectYourChildren.org is the website. ProtectYourChildren.org. Visit the website. Website's been getting a lot of good traffic, which is awesome. More downloads on the guidelines. A lot of pages are being visited. A lot of information is being absorbed by the public, and we're excited about that. So we're hoping that it's making a huge difference. But share our website too, ProtectYourChildren.org. Just post a link on your Facebook or whatever social media that you're on. Say, hey, parents, protect your kids. Go to ProtectYourChildren.org. That's it. That's all it needs to say. They'll click the link, and the website does the rest. Right? So please share ProtectYourChildren.org with your family and your friends and your social media, people you work with. We need to get more people aware of what's going on. All right, let's get into this. So more people now are saying that I hope I can say these two words together without getting censored. Young people's sex is acceptable now more than ever. Okay, we're going to have to tread lightly here, because you know the algorithms, right? Unbelievable. Jeez. All right, let's see. All right, let's check this out. Let me get myself off of here so it'll get a little bit bigger. I don't know if you could see this, but what we got here is, it says this was a Gallup survey. All right. And this is an old survey, which is interesting because it's from 2013, 2018. And when we went looking for information on this, it's interesting that we can't find anything more recent, but this was shocking enough. This was shocking enough. So the pollster said, next, I'm going to read you a list of issues. Regardless of whether or not you think it should be legal, for each one, please tell me whether you personally believe that in general, it is morally acceptable or morally wrong. How about sex between younger people? All right. And as you can see here, in 2013, 32% said it's morally acceptable for young people to engage with each other. We'll put it that way. And then in 2018, was that 14, 15, 5 years later, it was up to 42%, right? And now you can only imagine, now we're another 5 years, right? what are we at? 50. I did see some stat that said 62% or something like that. Unbelievable, right? But we see the trend. We see what's happening. And what people used to think was wrong, now they believe is right. And listen, if adults believe that it's okay for their young person to engage in these things, right? And if parents think that it's okay for themselves to engage in these things, the kids are watching. What are they being taught? What are the kids being taught? That's the question. Heidi Gum says it's absolutely wrong. Absolutely. But we see the trend, right? Just from 2013 to 2018, we went up 10 points. So here another 5 years, it's got to be at least another 10. It's probably 52, 54, 55% now. Say it's okay. See, what's happening is they're losing their moral fabric, and we're not getting on a high horse here trying to tell people what's right and what's wrong. But what we're looking at is the connection between adults and kids believing that interacting with each other in that way is okay. And what that's doing is opening the kids up to more danger. When you have adults, and there's another thing we're going to see here where adults, there's a large percentage of adults, like we saw on last week's show. The politicians and these different groups and these so-called doctors and these psychologists that are saying that, I can't even say this word now, pedophilia is actually not that bad. So they're softening it up like it's not that big of a deal. And that is getting into the fabric of our children and making them think that it's not that big of a deal. STDs are rampant in teens now. Yes, great point, Marie. It's exactly why. So it's gone up from 2013 to 2018. Now, let's look at the subgroup, okay? Let's look at the subgroup here. So these are views on the moral acceptability of sex between young people by subgroup. So we're going to look down this list, and it kind of just breaks it down and gives you a clear picture of what's happening here. So the percentage of people, we can look at this here. The people who had children under 18, 39% say, yeah, it's acceptable. All right. 57% said, no, it's not. Right? People that don't have children under 18, 43% say yes. 53% say no. Now, look at this number right here. The age group 18 to 29, 59% say it's absolutely okay for teenage people to engage in this way. 38% say no. That's 60% of 18 to 29. Now, we know that everybody, when they make the movies and the shows, what's the biggest target audience, even for iHeartRadio and different things? They're always targeting that coveted 18 to 25, they say, but it's 18 to 30. So it's the kids, it's the age group that's consuming the most technology, and it's affecting their morals. It's desensitizing them, and that's exactly what we've been warning about. Almost 60% say, yeah, sure, it's no problem. And then as you get older, look what happens. 30 to 49, only 43%. Go down to 65 plus, 31% say it's okay. And then look, it breaks down on political lines, right? 26% of conservatives say it's morally acceptable for teens to engage in this way. Liberals, 60% say it's okay. Moderates, 45%. So there's an effect there on the political aspect of it too. And then the religious aspect. 20% of people who attend church weekly say it's acceptable. People who don't attend church often, 54% say it's acceptable. So if you look at those numbers, what we got is It's breaking down on political lines, religious lines, moral lines, right? And the problem is that what we got is the things that we once held dear, the things that we once taught our kids was wrong, they're being bombarded with, no, it's okay. It's all right now. So not only do we have adults promoting the behavior, have you seen TikTok? Have you seen Instagram? You seen some of the stuff that the parents let their kids post and are posting with their children? It's unbelievable. Heidi says the television programs are full of sex. It's hard to find a show that doesn't promote sex. Absolutely. And that's part of it. That's coveting that 18 to 29-year-old age bracket. And it's having an effect because their guards are down. Marie said, I saw a video the other day saying that less than 10% will go to the marriage altar pure. Yeah. But see what's happening. We got to look at the pattern, right? We look at the pattern of desensitize, demoralize, and hypersexualize. There's three big things for you, right? So the plan is they desensitize the kids by showing it to them all the time in everything, right? They demoralize them. Hey, it's not really that wrong. Come on, your parents are just old people. And that's just what the church goody people say. You know, that's not really that wrong. Go ahead and do it. It's okay. It really is. So you desensitize, they demoralize the kids, and then they hypersexualize them. And what happens when you desensitize them? It doesn't affect them anymore. You demoralize them, they're more willing to do it. You hypersexualize them, they go out and start looking for it. And the predators are right there, everywhere, ready to serve. But this has been a plan for 50 years, 60 years now. And it's working. The enemy is winning. Our schools are filled with, predator teachers. Not to mention all the other areas where we've exposed these predators. It's unbelievable what's happening. But it's a progression. It's a progression. And it breaks down on all those different lines. We sent about 50 of these out last year. Pretty cool, right? Protect Your Children cups. Speaking of that, we do have merchandise. I don't know if anybody's aware of that. We make a nominal $1 to $2 on each product that we sell. And then, of course, that goes right back into the organization. But you can find that link on our website. Protect Your Children merch. We've got hats. We've got coffee cups. We've got drink cups like this. We've got hoodies. We got everything. Check it out. Our store. It's on the website, protectyourchildren.org. Protect Your Children merch. You can click the link and shop to your heart's content. It's high quality stuff. I believe Marie T has already got a bunch of stuff and a few others have. But when you do buy that, not only are you promoting the organization and you're promoting the website, but you're also contributing a couple dollars to help us continue to bring live shows, to advertise, and get the word out. So please check out our store, Protect Your Children merch. It's on our website, protectyourchildren.org. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. All right. Finally, let's look at this. This study is very eye-opening. And again, it ties into everything, right? Now, before we get into this, for the people that joined late, I want to tell you that next Wednesday, very important show, next Wednesday. For the ones that have been following us, we've been working with a family who found out that their 13-year-old was seeking out and talking with predators, trading images and things with predators. This child got to the point where they gave out their address and set up times for these predators to come to the child's house. Thank God it never actually took place. It got real close, though, from what the family can tell, this child was doing this. Nobody was aware. Nobody was checking the phones. No one was checking to see what was going on. No one noticed behavior changes. Nothing. And thank God that things came together. The child's brother actually found something on the child's phone, went to the parent, and now the child is safe. There's parental controls on the devices. There's GPS location everywhere the child goes. There's counseling taking place, and all the predators are being reported. So that's always good, the ones that the child was communicating with. But in any case, that child has agreed to be on the live show next Wednesday. He's going to call in. His face will not be shown. His name will be changed, obviously. But he wants to come on the show to help warn parents and warn kids about the dangers of what he was doing. He wants to talk about how he got into it, how he can help other kids not fall into the same trap. He wants to share what he's learned about it so far, which we think is just awesome. He's on a road to recovery and a road to healing, and he wants to be able to share that. So God willing, he will join us on the live show next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Put it on the calendar. Don't miss it. It's going to be a powerful show. We're going to put some money out to promote the show for the whole week prior between now and then, because we want a lot of people to be able to tune in. The child even says, are you going to be taking calls? And I said, well, I don't really take calls. It'd be kind of, no, I want people to call in. I want people to call in so I can talk to them and tell them how dangerous what I was doing is. Awesome, right? That's awesome. So that's going to come up next Wednesday, Lord willing. As they say, and the creeks don't rise, right? The creek doesn't rise. Tracy said, I've seen young girls like 6 years old, and literally they're in the store dressed like, I probably can't say that word here, ooker lookers. To me, they look like targets. They are. They are targets, And that's the other thing where people, don't blame the child. Listen, it's not a child's fault that a predator does something to them, right? But there are some basic things that you can do to make sure that your child isn't enticing a predator, right? Causing one to be triggered and to attack, right? I mean, you don't leave expensive things on your front seat in your car and leave the car unlocked and walk away, right? I mean, obviously, you take precautions on certain things because temptation leads to action. So when the parents got all these kids walking around showing off all their bodies, and they got them on Instagram in their underwear, and girls in these skimpy little things, and they're dancing and shaking their hips, their predators are drooling over their freaking Instagram reels. They're trying to contact them. They're trying to talk to them, trying to private message them. They're looking for things in their videos to find out where they might live. Anything, maybe a school shirt or a sports team they play for, something that can give up where they're living so they can come try to find them. Yeah, it's happening on social media, parents. Watch what your kids are doing. Parents have a responsibility to protect their children. And frankly, I'm frustrated with it because they're not doing it. Every day we see stuff. Protect Your Children has accounts on Instagram, TikTok, all over the place. And we will go on Instagram and start scrolling through. And we see something where it looks like a child might be putting themselves in danger or in a compromising situation. We make sure we comment on that video. And a lot of people are seeing it. At least the warning's getting out there. But we shouldn't even have to do that. And sometimes the parents don't even know what the kids are posting because they're not checking their phones. Unbelievable. All right. So more crimes now. Illegal sexual stuff is being committed by minors. I hope you're going to be able to see this screen here. I'm going to try to make it as large as I can. Let me get myself off of here. There we go. All right. So this study right here was talking about how adolescents are now committing illegal, I probably can't say these two words together. My gosh, YouTube. Illegal interactions in that type of behavior. Yes, you know, guys, know what I'm saying. And they're looking at to possibly why it's happening. But they've noticed an increase, right? over the years, over the last decade, actually. And the amount of crimes that are being committed that are sexual in nature by minors is increasing. It's actually going up more. They're saying that there's now more crimes in that vein committed by minors than there are adults. As crazy as that to believe. Now, I mean, we trust that the study's accurate, but we're just reporting what we've seen. And it's talking about some of the reasons that it happens, right? ADHD, delinquency, aggression, psychological problems. As some boys who commit illegal sexual acts have serious psychological problems, such as depression, autism disorders, autism spectrum, post-traumatic stress, The mental illness itself does not cause the illegal behavior, but it may affect their feelings, judgments, and choices. They may be isolated and feel left out of normal teen activities, and they turn to children as substitutes for age-appropriate relationships. Why are we bringing this to you? Because the average age of a predator is now 14 years old. This is what they've gotten from talking to people that have been arrested, adults. The average age that an abuser starts abusing is 14 years old. And they start abusing younger children, right? This article is shining some light on that and trying to look at why it might be happening. They're looking at different factors. But what we used to write off as, oh, they're just curious. Oh, the kids are just experimenting. Could be. Or it could be an abuse type situation. So parents have to watch what their kids are doing with other kids. Could be a warning sign of what's to come. One of the other reasons it says, ready for this? Exposure to sexual materials or behaviors. Yeah, you think? And it's got the internet right there. Teenagers today have easy access to highly sexualized materials through movies, television, music, the internet, magazines. Sex is used to sell almost everything, and ordinary media content is more highly sexualized than ever. Some boys report that they were viewing sexually explicit materials prior to their illegal behavior, and that this material influenced their actions. What? Imagine that. They were looking at pornography, and it influenced their actions and led them to abuse children. You think? Some teens live in a highly sexualized home with frequent open sexual behavior between adults. This environment, too, can affect their choice and their behaviors. Absolutely right. Could you imagine a child that's surrounded by it at school, around their friends, on social media, free access to the internet, and as much as they want, and the privacy of their room, and then they also have it going on in their own home? And you don't expect that this child is going to start to feel like this is absolutely normal and go on to repeat it to other children? But it's all part of the plan. Sexual abuse. Some adolescents have themselves been sexually abused. The abuse might have been recent, it might be ongoing, or it could be something that happened when they were much younger. The majority of teens with illegal sexual behavior, however, have not been sexually abused. That's what they found. I mean, you look at what's happening. I'm looking at what comments in this comments here. Let's see. Tracy says, "Yes, I tell my kids we don't live in the Garden of Eden. I mean, if you tell a kid to wear a life preserver in a boat, it's not accusing the kid; it's trying to keep them safe." Thank you. Yes. Yes. And Marie says, hypersexual normative pushed by media, music, entertainment, and games. Yes. And it all goes back to the predators. The predators can't abuse the kids unless the kids, right, feel like it's not wrong. And again, we're talking about two different types of abuse here. There is physically forced, right? There's blackmail. There's that avenue. But there's the grooming where it becomes, God, I hate to use the word mutual. It's not really mutual because it's manipulation, but it's not physically forced. But they want kids to be okay with it. But they got to desensitize, demoralize, and hypersexualize. That's the That's the three things that they've got to do. Problems with sexual attraction to children. A small number of adolescents may be sexually attracted to children rather than to age-appropriate peers. They may be developing a mental disorder known as pedophilia. Pedophilia involves intense sexual arousal to children 13 or younger. We're going to have to talk about that one time on the show, because are you telling me if somebody goes after a 14-year-old, that means they're not a pedophile? I mean, just because they're not 13 or younger? Yeah. To be diagnosed, the person must be at least 16 years old and at least 5 years older than the child. Blah, blah, blah. What we know it says is that your teen may have been involved in illegal sexual behavior for many reasons. Each teen's reasons are different. Each family is different. What's important now is to understand which of these factors are most relevant for your child. Then you and your child's treatment provider can work together to get him or her help. And it goes on and on and on. It says one important thing to know, ready for this, is that youth under age 18, look at this, under age 18 commit a substantial number of the sex offenses committed in the United States. Is that powerful? Youth under age 18 commit a substantial number of the sex offenses committed in the United States. At least 1/3 of all sexual abuse of children is committed by boys and girls under 18. And according to the U.S. Department of Justice, adolescents account for about 17% of all arrests for sex offenses. Boys commit the majority of these offenses, which is an estimated 90%, and girls commit about 10% of the offenses. Do you think the enemy's winning right now? Now, this study, this is their view. This is NCSBY.org, by the way, NCSBY.org. Parents ask these questions. Do these boys go on to become adult sex offenders? The current research shows that the majority of adolescents with illegal sexual behavior do not go on to become adult sex offenders. Moreover, if a boy with illegal sexual behavior receives treatment, he is far less likely to reoffend. Research shows for adolescents who receive treatment, rates of committing another sexual offense is low, from 3 to 14%. What kinds of families do boys with illegal sexual behavior have? All types of families. The families of boys with illegal sexual behavior are as diverse as the boys themselves. The families may have biological parents, step-parents, grandparents, foster parents, adoptive parents. You got the point. What type of boy commits this behavior? All types of boys can commit illegal sexual behavior, including boys with no delinquent behavior. So basically, you always have to keep your eyes open is where it's going. Do adolescents commit serious sex offenses? Some do. While some teens' illegal sexual behavior is limited to touching a child or having a child touch them, which we would call illegal, others have extensive aggressive sexual behavior that includes forced intercourse. Then it goes on to talk about some boys immediately admit, some don't. Most teenage boys have sexual activity with younger children that they know and spend time with. This includes younger siblings, cousins, children of a neighbor, or children that they babysit. It is unusual for an adolescent boy to have illegal sexual behavior with a child he doesn't know. Adolescents rarely abuse children they don't know and they see on the playground or in the mall. And we'll stop that right there. But it goes on with the whole, it's consistent with the stats, right? The stats are that over 90% of kids are abused by somebody that they already know or that the family already knows. It's not a complete stranger. It is in 10% or less of the cases. And so knowing that the median age that a predator starts abusing a child is 14, we see now that the crime rates for these illegal sexual acts are highest now with minors, which is indications of it starting young, just as the other study had found. You combine that with the desensitizing and demoralizing that we're seeing and the amount of predators that are being caught that are targeting these children, hopefully I'm laying out the picture clear enough for everybody. So what do? Well, you keep your eyes open. You monitor what your kids are doing. You try to instill good morals in them as much as you can. You can't force your kids to live one way, but you can let them know that there's two ways to live. One way can have these consequences, and this way has the other consequences. And you monitor them until they're 18, and then guess what happens? They're going to have to go make those decisions. But you try to reinforce what they've always known. Don't let them forget it. We hear stories about that all the time. You know, kids that are raised in Christian homes, for example, and then they go off to college, and the next thing you know, they're like atheists, you know, and they're like, what just happened? Because they got away from the influence and they got surrounded by other influences. Well, the predators work the same way. So parents, you got to monitor your kids' phones. We always talk about the Guardian app, MM Guardian. If you have Android, you can use the AirDroid, AIR, AirDroid app. It's like $10 a month. GPS location, monitors their social content. It's always good to have that because kids might be already at a point where they're in a relationship with somebody and you don't know, parents, because you're not checking, you're not watching. So you have to monitor their social media, monitor their internet activity. All kids under 18, as far as I'm concerned, need to have parental controls on their phones. See if they're having communications with their teachers. See what adults are trying to spend one-to-one time with them, especially if you don't know about it, parents, and the adult hasn't given an openly stated reason, especially if they haven't been background checked. Like there's things, practical things that you can do to help keep your kids safe. But look at this background. You can go to Google and just type in teachers arrested and you'll have pages and pages and pages. It's that bad. It's all over the place. Tracy said, yes, at Scouts back in 2016, they started focusing on keeping kids safe from kids. Yeah, imagine that. And the Boy Scouts, they went through, they went through a whole rough thing with that. Wow. So that's about it for the show. I appreciate you guys being here. Please share the podcast. Please share the podcast. Share this information. Hopefully you can explain it to people, help people to realize. Just remember, the enemy's goal, the enemy of your children, their goal is to desensitize, demoralize, and hypersexualize. And there's plenty of evidence to show that all three of those things are taking place. If we can get a handle on those things, or at least in your own child's life, then you might be able to keep them safe. And that's the goal. So that's going to be it for this week. I appreciate it again. Looking forward to next Wednesday. We'll have the child on. I hope you guys will join us for that. Spread the word. Get some other parents listening. Grab the kids. It's not going to be graphic. We're going to keep it PG, of course. But even the kids need to hear about the dangers that are out there and how close this child came to being kidnapped and possibly even killed. The kids need to know about it. So look forward to that next Wednesday. Thank you all for being here. Until next week, stay safe, God bless, and keep protecting your kids and be nosy.